Welcome to probably the most authentic experiences your clients can have here in Peru. We're talking about the Lares Trek. Now, the Lares Trek Toucan actually started about 6 years ago because it was getting more and more difficult to obtain permits on the Inca Trail, and we wanted an alternative. And now it's actually become quite common for our clients just to opt out of the Inca Trail and say, nope, I'd rather do the Lares Trek. The reason being that this is a much more cultural trek through the Andes. We're walking through the Lares Valley, which has been inhabited for thousands of years by these Quechua-speaking indigenous people, and we're going to get a glimpse into their lifestyle. Now, of course, one of the great things about this trek is no permits required, so no worries if you're booking, a month, even weeks in advance. There's no issues about getting on the trail because there isn't enough tourism here to warrant a permit system. In fact, when I did the trek last year, we didn't see any other tourists on the trek, just our group. It really is a great way to get an insight into the culture here, walking through these small little villages, very, very primitive. Okay, there's no electricity here. The people still do eat guinea pig. It's not a, it's not a tourist thing. It's something they actually live by. And we're just going to be able to take in the culture here. That's one of those really special things that you don't find in other parts of Peru. The local interaction will just blow you away. There's going to be kids sitting around, moms weaving. They're all in their traditional dress. Their little cheeks are sunburned. So a great experience, and we're going to have a lot of interaction with the local people. Now, we are very careful. We don't want to spoil the authenticity of the Lares Valley. So what we do with these people, instead of giving them sweets and money, we all are permitted to buy one bag of bread, which we distribute to the locals. Bread is something that they need anyway, so giving them a slice of bread we don't feel is gonna really taint their attitude toward visitors. So it is a pretty amazing way to get to know the local people. They're going to come up to you. Perhaps you'll hear a little bit of Quechua. You definitely won't hear any Spanish here in the Lares Valley. So a great, great, great way to learn about this part of the world. We still have porters. We still have cooks. We still have a guide. So this is a fully supported trek, just like the Inca Trail. We still have our team of llamas that are going to accompany us. What you see on their back is actually our stuff because we are permitted to give them 5 kilograms per person of our stuff. So clothes or whatever you want will go on these llamas' backs. We usually end up walking just with a water bottle, maybe a change of clothes. Keep in mind the porters are carrying the tents, all the food. They're doing all the logistical work as well along the trail. And it is similar in distance and difficulty to the Inca Trail. There are a couple of key exceptions though, which I'm going to talk about now. And the first is the fact that we're going to a much higher altitude on the Lares Trek. So if you recall or you see my other video, you know that the Inca Trail we go to 4,200 meters. Well, on the Lares Trek we're actually going up to 4,550 and we're staying at that altitude much longer. So the altitude definitely does have an impact on your experience. When I've done this trek, pretty much everybody feels the effects of altitude. There isn't much you can do about that. Though, that said, anybody can do this trek. We take our time, we're not in a rush. Drinking lots of water helps. Sometimes altitude sickness pills can assist in that as well. And it's also a little bit easier than the Inca Trail in terms of distance. Okay, so if you have seen my Inca Trail video, you know that Inca Trail is 3 nights camping, 4th day we arrive. This one in contrast is 2 nights camping, okay, and after night 2 we're going to get up in the morning, start our walk, and we're going to end at about midday at the train tracks. Okay, we're going to get on the train, continue on our way till we get to the base of Machu Picchu to a small town called Aguas Calientes, and we're going to spend the night in this small town. And a lot of people really like this because they can get a beer from the restaurant, they can have a good sleep. Then the next day we're going to get up at about 5:30 a.m., catch the first bus, and the bus takes about an hour to get up to Machu Picchu, and we're going to be there at about 6:30, 7:30, which is about the same people on the Inca Trail arrive. So we still get a few hours to ourselves at Machu Picchu before the train gets in, and that's quite important for a lot of people because it's a really special time to be at the site. Now I just want to emphasize again that many of our itineraries, such as this one here, the Peru Completed, you'll see it says Inca Trail Trek, and all that really means is that we've set aside 3 days for the client to get from Cusco to Machu Picchu. But it has to be said that, the client could substitute for the Lares Trek, or the client alternatively could just take the train to Machu Picchu. That's totally up to them, and then they would spend the 3 nights in Cusco. So sometimes we'll have a husband that walks the Inca Trail, wife wants to do the Lares Trek, or husband wants to stay in Cusco and take the train, and the wife wants to do the Lares Trek, so that you can combine as you wish. But I really do recommend the Lares Trek for clients that are looking for something a little bit different, a real authentic experience in the Lares Valley. So that's a little bit about the Lares Trek. I hope that helped. Happy selling.